BMW CEO Oliver Zipse has made a bold move that's sending shockwaves through the automotive industry, unveiling a groundbreaking new engine that could potentially disrupt the seemingly unstoppable rise of electric vehicles, EVs. This announcement represents more than just another technological advancement. It's a defiant statement that BMW isn't ready to abandon the internal combustion engine, ICE, era just yet. With decades of engineering excellence behind them, the German automaker appears poised to challenge the EV revolution head-on, potentially restoring ICE technology to its former glory while meeting stringent modern environmental standards. For years, BMW has been synonymous with performance engineering, crafting vehicles that perfectly blend luxury with exhilarating driving dynamics. Like all traditional automakers, they've been forced to adapt to the EV revolution, driven by tightening emissions regulations and growing environmental awareness. The company has introduced electric models like the i3, i4, and flagship i9, yet there's always been a sense that BMW wasn't fully committed to abandoning combustion engines. This hesitation mirrors the stance of other automakers like Toyota and Mazda, who have continued developing ICE technology alongside their electric offerings. However, BMW's latest announcement takes this reluctance to a new level, potentially reshaping the automotive landscape. The specifics of BMW's new engine remain closely guarded, but industry insiders suggest it incorporates cutting-edge technologies that could redefine efficiency, power, and emissions control. Rumors indicate it might be a hybrid system combining traditional combustion principles with innovative solutions, possibly integrating hydrogen fuel cell technology or advanced turbocharging systems. What makes this development particularly significant is BMW's claim that the engine could meet or even surpass global emission standards while delivering performance that rivals current electric motors. This positions the new powertrain as a legitimate alternative to full electrification, addressing environmental concerns without sacrificing the driving experience that has defined BMW for decades. This announcement comes as a direct challenge to the EV industry, which has been dominated by Tesla's meteoric rise under Elon Musk's leadership. Established automakers like Ford, General Motors, and Volkswagen have all made substantial investments in electrification, with models like the Mustang Mach-E, Chevrolet Bolt, and Volkswagen ID series gaining market traction. BMW's new engine threatens to disrupt this momentum by offering consumers who are hesitant about EVs due to range anxiety, charging infrastructure limitations, or simply preference for traditional driving dynamics a compelling alternative that doesn't require compromising on performance or environmental responsibility. The success of BMW's Gambit will depend on several critical factors. Consumer reception will be paramount. While there remains a loyal segment of ICE enthusiasts, it's unclear whether this demographic can offset the growing EV adoption. Pricing will also play a crucial role. As battery costs decrease and EV prices become more competitive, BMW's new engine must offer comparable value. Additionally, the company faces challenges from government policies worldwide that are increasingly favoring EVs through incentives and infrastructure investments. BMW may need to lobby for regulatory support or develop innovative strategies to ensure its new technology isn't disadvantaged by the shifting policy landscape. Perhaps most significantly, BMW's announcement reignites the debate about sustainable transportation solutions. While EVs produce zero tailpipe emissions, concerns persist about battery production's environmental impact and the carbon footprint of electricity generation in regions reliant on fossil fuels. If BMW's new engine can utilize synthetic fuels or biofuels with a neutral carbon footprint, it could present a viable alternative path to decarbonization, particularly in markets where the electrical grid remains heavily dependent on non-renewable energy sources. The automotive industry stands at a critical crossroads, as BMW's audacious engineering gambit sends ripples through the global market, presenting what may become one of the most significant challenges to the electric vehicle revolution since its inception. This isn't merely another incremental improvement to internal combustion technology, but rather a potential paradigm shift that could redefine the trajectory of personal mobility for decades to come. As industry analysts and enthusiasts alike scrutinize every development, the implications extend far beyond BMW's showrooms. This represents a fundamental philosophical clash between two visions for sustainable transportation. On one side stands the rapidly advancing EV juggernaut, backed by massive infrastructure investments and government mandates, while on the other emerges this unexpected technological wildcard that promises to preserve the visceral driving experience cherished by purists while meeting stringent environmental standards. The true test will come when real-world performance data emerges, revealing whether this new powertrain can genuinely compete with electric vehicles on emissions, efficiency, and total cost of ownership across various global markets with differing energy infrastructures. Environmental advocates will undoubtedly question whether any combustion technology, no matter how advanced, can truly align with long-term decarbonization goals compared to zero-emission EVs, especially as battery recycling programs mature and renewable energy grids expand. Meanwhile, automotive traditionalists see this as validation that reports of the internal combustion engine's demise were greatly exaggerated, potentially breathing new life into an entire ecosystem of suppliers, engineers, and aftermarket companies whose expertise seemed destined for obsolescence. The timing couldn't be more consequential, arriving just as many consumers were beginning to accept electrification as inevitable, forcing potential car buyers to reconsider their assumptions about what constitutes future-proof vehicle technology. For regulators and policymakers, BMW's move introduces new complexities into emission standard setting and incentive programs that had been designed with a binary transition from combustion to electric in mind. The coming months will reveal whether other automakers follow BMW's lead with similar innovations or double down on their electrification roadmaps, potentially splitting the industry into competing technological camps. What remains undeniable is that this development has instantly made the future of automotive technology less certain and far more interesting, ensuring heated debates in boardrooms, legislative chambers, and enthusiast forums worldwide about the most viable path to sustainable mobility. As the first prototypes hit the road and independent testing begins, all stakeholders, from environmental groups to energy companies to everyday drivers, will be watching closely to see if this represents the beginning of a genuine technological revolution or merely an elegant swan song for the age of combustion. Regardless of the outcome, BMW has successfully reignited a conversation many considered settled, proving that even in an era of rapid technological change, there remains room for disruptive innovation that challenges conventional wisdom. The seismic implications of BMW's revolutionary engine technology extend far beyond mere corporate strategy or engineering bragging rights, representing instead a fundamental reshaping of the entire mobility ecosystem, with profound consequences that will ripple across multiple sectors of the global economy. At stake is nothing less than the future trajectory of millions of manufacturing jobs worldwide, as this development threatens to upend carefully laid transition plans by automakers, unions, and governments who had been preparing workforces for an all-electric future, now potentially preserving combustion-related engineering roles while creating new hybrid specialties that blend traditional mechanical expertise with cutting-edge emissions control systems. The infrastructure implications are equally momentous, calling into question the pace and scale of charging network expansions, while potentially revitalizing investments in fuel distribution systems that many had assumed would gradually become obsolete, creating a fascinating tug-of-war between competing visions for transportation energy delivery that could see regions make dramatically different bets on their mobility futures. For consumers, this breakthrough, if substantiated, shatters the false binary choice between electric and combustion that has dominated the market narrative in recent years, restoring genuine variety to showrooms and empowering buyers with technologies that better match their specific needs, whether that's long-haul truckers requiring rapid refueling, performance enthusiasts craving visceral engagement, or urban commuters prioritizing zero local emissions. Environmental progress now faces both new challenges and unexpected opportunities, as regulators must grapple with whether to maintain their single-minded focus on electrification or embrace alternative pathways to decarbonization that might prove more practical in certain markets or applications, particularly if BMW's technology can be adapted to run on advanced biofuels or synthetic fuels that offer carbon-neutral operation. The geopolitical dimensions add another layer of complexity, potentially reducing the automotive world's dependence on battery material supply chains dominated by certain nations, while creating new competition for alternative fuel sources and the rare earth metals still required for advanced combustion systems. Even the financial markets must now reassess their valuations of automakers and suppliers, as investment theses predicated on the inevitable dominance of pure battery electric vehicles suddenly appear less certain, with potentially dramatic consequences for everything from lithium mining stocks to charging network startups to traditional oil companies that may find renewed relevance in a more pluralistic energy future. Educational institutions and training programs face their own reckoning, having rushed to develop EV-focused curricula that may now need to be rebalanced to include next-generation combustion technologies, ensuring the next generation of engineers possesses the diverse skill set needed for this newly complex automotive landscape. The aftermarket and repair industries similarly stand at a crossroads, as what appeared to be a gradual sunsetting of combustion expertise may now enjoy an unexpected reprieve, though requiring mechanics to master sophisticated new emission control systems and hybrid architectures. Perhaps most significantly, this development restores genuine technological competition to an arena that many had assumed was moving toward a single, government-mandated solution, proving that market forces and engineering innovation can still produce surprises that challenge even the most entrenched assumptions about our energy future. As this story unfolds in laboratories, proving grounds, and eventually dealerships worldwide, it will test whether democratic societies can maintain the flexibility to embrace multiple solutions to the sustainability challenge, or whether bureaucratic inertia and entrenched interests will force a continuation of the one-size-fits-all approach that has dominated recent policy discussions. The ultimate verdict will come not from pundits or politicians, but from that most merciless of judges, the collective wisdom of millions of car buyers voting with their wallets in showrooms across the globe, whose choices will determine whether this represents a fascinating but ultimately niche alternative or the beginning of a genuine rebalancing of the automotive ecosystem. What began as a corporate product announcement has blossomed into a case study in technological humility, reminding us that even in an age of apparent scientific certainty, true innovation can emerge from unexpected quarters to complicate our neat narratives of progress and force us to reconsider what we thought we knew about the path to sustainable mobility.